In 2018 and 2019, I was hired by the National Baseball Hall of Fame to come shoot content during their biggest weekend, which is Induction Weekend. And when I landed the first gig in 2018, I was coming off a really challenging couple of years after getting fired. So this gig and this opportunity really started to build some confidence in my head. But on top of that, I was getting to go do some interviews for a sport that I completely loved and played a huge part in my life. So getting this gig was really fun and really amazing.
I don't wanna wake up and let my dreams die. This moment I'll make it mine. Don't tell me I'm wasting time. I'll show you what I'm made of and give my dreams life. I'll put it all on the line, just like I'm young, wild and alive.
The main focus of the whole weekend was obviously the Hall of Fame induction, and they have this gala the night before the induction, which would be Saturday night. And my goal for that night, they hired me to go down there and basically interview some of the players. Now, because I work in radio, I worked in the media for a long time, I've been able to interview some amazing people, which has been really cool. But this situation was really special because I was literally interviewing my heroes from childhood. Here are some of the interviews I got to do at the Hall of Fame gala. Really fun night.
Pudge, what do you remember most about your induction? Well, where we are right now, spend time with a lot of friends that I never seen before, and it's been a long time that I haven't seen them. And this year, for example, Edgar got inducted in the Hall of Fame, and I see some friends of mine, Muradi, Carmelo Martinez, Juan Lopez, guys that I played with them professional baseball in Puerto Rico, and guys that I haven't seen them probably, I say, maybe 6-7 years ago, and just fun just to be here, spend time with all the Hall of Famers, and just having a great time with the families and all the Hall of Famers here.
Last question on this painting: who was the toughest player to play against? The ones that you played against.
Well, if you see all this, they're all Hall of Famers, right? So they're all tough. They're all very good players. Roy, very good. Roy Halladay, very good pitcher. When you throw a no-hitter in the playoff, that tells you how good he was. Musina, Lee Smith coming in the ninth inning. Musina with a knuckle curve. Unbelievable. Mariano with that nasty cutter. I'm talking about pitchers that I faced them. And when I faced Aro Baines and Edgar Martinez, from behind the plate perspective, if I had the first base open, I would walk them. So, that's what they deserve to be here. That's what the Hall of Famers. I played with Mo with the Yankees for 3 months, and I was able to catch him few saves, that he has in his records, and great guy, very low-key guy, good teammate, guy that, throws a lot of strikes. He's unbelievable that what he did in baseball with only one pitch. That cutter is amazing. Be able to, have many saves that he has in his career. He's unbelievable, and the first one in the history of Hall of Fame, they are 100% votes. And from Panama, Latin America, I love it. I like it.
All right, first let's start off. What do you remember most about your induction?
Nerves. No, it was a lot of nerves. I think the Hall of Fame did a heck of a job in getting us here. And once you found out really that your family was good, I think it brought a big calmness over each and every one of them. And, that ended up being a pretty good afternoon at the end. But this piece here, I think this is something that all 6 of them should really want in their house as a piece to hang up, because we all kind of have things, and if you could just boil it down to a couple of things, that's a piece that I think I would have on my wall. Very nicely done.
Wow. Hey, Johnny, what do you remember most about your induction?
That it was here, 30 years ago. It's been 30 years since I was inducted, so I remember how many people from my hometown came, how many big a crowd it was, the excitement of being there with Carl Yastrzemski and Al Barlick and Red Sheenitz, and I thought it was a day of, of jubilation and joy. I didn't have a speech. I didn't write a thing. I just spoke from my heart, introduced my friends and family, and talked about how great it was to be inducted.
Now, what's special about coming back every single year?
Seeing the new guys and seeing the old guys and seeing the guys that, we through the inductions, 30 years ago, made a lot of friends, a lot of people we like to see each other, and then people that have come through the hall, people who work at the hall, do a marvelous job. So
I love that man, respect that one, competed against that one, tough as a bat, competed against that one, and I wish I had him. I wish I had him as a closer. Maybe I would have been here a little bit earlier, right?
What do you think about this piece right here? Here's the original of him.
It's beautiful. Beautiful piece of art. Mar Rivera. For the first time he chose his cutter. Mariano.
And last question, what do you remember most about your induction?
I remember the people just going crazy about my presence on the stage and having the second Dominican being inducted. I remember that it took a long time to get the second one, so the people were really excited about it.
Now, as you can tell from the video, the place was chaotic, it was loud in there, the atmosphere was a lot of fun. It was very private, so the players were super relaxed. They were there with their families, there was no media there. And by the way, I was the only person in there with a camera and doing interviews, so they were super relaxed and having fun. And by the way, I do have to say, there was a lot of alcohol flowing that night.
What do you remember most about your induction weekend?
A lot of hectic. It was crazy, and the one thing that I took from my weekend, and I tell all the new inductees, is slow everything down, because everything was at 100 miles an hour. And but the one thing that I take away from my weekend was so special. My family and friends were here, and just a wonderful time.
And last question, what do you think about the Mariano piece and him being the first unanimous vote?
I would have been shocked if he didn't get 100%. I mean, Derek Jeter will get 100% next year, but I would have been shocked if Mariano Rivera didn't get 100%. He's well deserved.
I wish I had one when I went in.
What do you remember most about that weekend?
Just the craziness and the nervousness leading up to induction day, but it was a lot of fun. I'll never forget it.
Class of 2018, Trevor. What do you think of the 2019 piece by Justin Toronto?
Well, I'm a little partial that Justin did an amazing job on both pieces, but I feel like 2018 was his best effort ever. Not because I was on it, but because of the guys that I was around. So he does amazing work. He's obviously done amazing work again in 2019. We appreciate all his efforts.
Last question, what do you think about the Mariano piece being another?
I love it. I love the facade up above him. It just kind of depicts Yankees, and it depicts Mariano. It's classic, classic.
What do you like most about Justin Ferrano's artwork?
Right now I can't tell you a whole lot, but it's an outstanding job. But I've been waiting for one from me. I just want to see how I look at it. How good he's gonna make me look. So, but he does an outstanding job. I think he's an upcoming artist, and he's doing a lot of things for baseball. So maybe Major League Baseball can get him to do some artists about the baseball team, and get him going, and he'd be involved with baseball all the time.
What do you like most about the 2019 piece?
Right now, what I like about I got some of my favorite players in 2019. I played with Harold. I played with Martinez. Lee was one of my favorites as a relief pitcher, and I didn't think he got the credit that he deserved, because the relief pitcher nowadays they get one batter out, they got to save, or they get one in out, they got to save. Lee had to do it for 3 or 4 innings before he got to say. So that's what's so great about him.
What do you remember most about your induction?
Being excited, and being honored that I was getting into the Hall of Fame. But I got the pleasure to go in with Jim Rice, and he was one of my mentors when I went to Boston. And when I played against him, he always taught me about the game and how to go about the game. So, and I got the opportunity that year. He decided to go in with me, so it made it very special for me.
Maybe face Mariano, I think of him maybe getting the 100% votes or something like that.
Wow, Mariano was really one of a kind. He made relief pitcher, more special. When he got out there, he was sort of like a Dennis Exley when I played with Dennis, and that we depended on him, and we used to always come to the game and say that we was playing for our relief pitchers. So we went out there and played for Dennis. I went out to play with Dennis when he was Exley, and he got the opportunity to shut in the game down. So Mariano, he was the same way with the Yankee big spot time. He was in a big city, and he rose to the occasion when he got out out there, everybody knew what he was going to do. He was going to shut the game down.
Hall of Fame Induction weekend, there is this constant build-up to the main event, which is on Sunday. This is when the players get actually inducted into the Hall of Fame in front of past Hall of Fame inductees, and they do their amazing speeches in front of a massive crowd.
2,590 hits, 1,496 yards.
Here are before Gold Glove Awards were presented. Restroom facilities are available on the Clark Sports Center field.
But what we needed was a leader, a guy that could get us through.
New Hall of Famer, Trevor Hoffman.
I didn't realize this until I was putting this video together, but two things came full circle during Hall of Fame induction weekend. The first one was I was able to interview some of my childhood heroes who I absolutely idolized as a kid, and that holds such a special place in my heart because baseball played such a big part of my life, and being there, I felt like a little kid again. And the second one was, at this point before I got this gig, I was questioning so many aspects of life in the sense of like, am I good enough? Clearly I was fired, maybe it's because I sucked. When I got this gig, I started to kind of change my mindset. I'm like, well, clearly the National Baseball Hall of Fame believed in my content that much that they wanted to hire me for 2 years in a row. That started to build my confidence back and lead me down this path of positivity where I started to get other gigs like this that were so much fun, and also creatively I had freedom. So when I use the word full circle, it was getting fired but getting back to this point where like there was a whole nother world out there filled with positivity and possibilities that I would not have realized if I had not been fired, and also getting an opportunity to shoot content at the National Baseball Hall of Fame. Seriously, doesn't get any better than that, at least for a kid who loved baseball as much as me.